Let's see if this works. So I recently moved. Well, I still need to prop up this monitor because this monitor doesn't have any sort of height adjustment, so I got to prop it up on a box. The other two, the Dells, do, so these are props up as a way to hopefully convince me to improve my posture. So hopefully that works. Although it doesn't appear that we're getting any video. And as soon as I say that, it does appear to pop up. Rocco, are you tearing up the Auric? Babe?
What?
Was Rocco tearing up the Auric?
No.
Okay. Or was that the couch?
That was the couch.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess that's better than the Auric. We have nobody in the chat yet, which is strange. We've been streaming for about a minute. Is the chat broken? Let me refresh this. Still don't have anything. Not sure what's up with that. Let's see what we've got. So I don't have Discord on this. I don't have Discord on this phone. What do we have? And of course this phone's gonna lag. Okay. Okay. Hi, Chance, I'm first. Hello, Gabe. TR says, yo. Liddy Gangster says, Chance, what up? I Repair Vacuums 4 says, on Steam, I bought Call of Duty Black Ops on sale for $19.99. Cool. I mean, that's... You could buy it physically on a 360 for about $8, but still pretty decent. That's one of the many reasons I don't like digital games. Because Call of Duty Black Ops is an $8 game, and yet on sale it's $20 on Steam. See, Black Ops, if that was Black Ops 2, that'd be, you know, a bit more of an argument because that game is, you know, about a $20 game now. It's going up a bit. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. I'm watching a Leprechaun horror movie. Is it St. Patrick's Day? Wow, that tells you how little I know about what day it is. Oh yeah, it's 17th. Okay. I am not wearing any green, although my eyes are... They're supposed to be blue. Like, my eyes have always been blue, but the last couple of years they've looked green. So, I don't know if they actually are green, or if they just look green. But this phone is green, this Note 20. This is green. These batteries are green. All these Xbox cases are green. This Bissell is green. It's literally called the Big Green. So yeah. My newest Dyson V11 has some problems. Well, that's unfortunate. What problems is it having? I've actually been using my V11. It's been pretty good. Even though I have the first gen V11 torque drive, I've been pairing it recently with the motor bar cleaner head from my new V8. And it's been pretty good. Like, you know, I've been using it pretty consistently. The two machines I've been using most recently include the V11 and then also the Auric XL Platinum, which I'm going to review at some point soon. Although I'm going to review the Riccar Superlights and maybe another Auric first. But that's the one I've been using as my main machine, which I need to do a video on the machines I've been using, because it is quite fascinating. But yeah, so not bad at all. No, I meant a long time instead of it's been a not. Oh, okay. Let's see. I've acquired an old bagless Bissell from the old design of the 2010s to 2013. 3 days ago, I trash picked another vacuum, a Bissell Power Clean Swivel Rewind Pet 2256K. How many vacuums do you currently have? I have about 35. I've got many more than that. I have way too many, frankly. Just in this room, I've got the DreamTech T30, the Big Green Commercial, the 3525 Power Force, the Dirt Devil Swift Stick, a Easy Home Sweeper, the Easy Home Vacuum, and the V11. And then in the living room, I have a bunch of vacuums that I still need to take upstairs. And yeah, and then of course I have all the ones upstairs. I have all the broken ones in the basement. I've got a bunch of them in the middle area upstairs between the two rooms. There's a lot, frankly. There is a lot. So there's quite a large amount of machines. And I'm currently in the process of attempting to downsize. Many machines are available, including the V11 and the Auric XL Pro Plus and the Riccar Superlight and Vibrance, the multiple elites like the convertible elite and the runabout. There's just so many. There's so many that are for sale. So many. A lot of them I have to list, but there's many available that are available. The Lindhouse, mainly, really want to sell that one because that one I'm tired of looking at. And yeah. I need I need a weird gasket. The lower cyclone keeps coming out due to broken screw threads, and that's about it for now. Thanks, autocorrect. Thought I turned you off, yeah. Buddy Vacuum says he apologizes about his actions, about saying we can't cuss. He would like to be unblocked, but that's up to you. What? I'm not sure who Buddy Vacuums is. Or what they're referring to. Babo says hamburgisa. Yes, hello. No says I got about 4 vacuums. Vacuum Central says I hopped in. I've got 10. Liddy Gangster says, is the Bissell Power Clean 2256K a good machine? I've not played with it much, and I've not gotten around to it yet. Rick Hoover says, yo, this is probably the latest Rick Hoover's ever hopped into one of these. Well, that's probably because I forgot to mention it on the Discord. So, that's probably why. So, I'll probably have to mention it in a few places. But yes, I'm currently trying to get an older self-propelled wind tunnel. Okay. Yeah, as far as that Bissell Power Clean, I don't know if it'll let me highlight. Yes, it will. I'll check it out real quick and see. I don't know off the top of my head if it's one that I've used. Oh yeah, this is exactly the same as the Clean View and the Power Lifter. So yeah, it's decent. It could be these these machines don't clean carpets as well as the more basic machines, just because that extra like soft roll brush strips and just the overall cleaner head design. The swivel neck does kind of hurt it a little bit, and they don't clean nearly as well as the standard editions, which is they clean about half as well, maybe 60% as well, and that's being generous. And that's unfortunate. I wouldn't recommend those machines, but for free you can't really complain too much. And if you have a lower pile carpet, it might not be as big of a deal, because they can clean okay, but if you have deeper pile carpets, they definitely don't dig as deep as the standard edition machines. Rocco's tearing up his scratching post, which is good. Alright. Tanny Wanny says hello. Vacuum Central says, I'm currently trying to get an older self-propelled wind tunnel. TR says it was something that happened a long while ago. My favorite vacuum is a Bissell Power Force 6585. I had one of those a long time ago. I kind of wish I still had it. Because the one I had was in really good condition. So, I don't know. Mainly, if I don't really own any of those types of bagless Bissells right now, except for the Rubbermaid branded one and the Liftoff Revolution Turbo. I still have both of those, and yeah, so not bad at all. Give me one sec to add the streaming now into the others. Let's see, streaming now. So how is everyone on this spectacular Sunday? I hope very well. And of course this phone is very, very slow, this Galaxy J7. But it is what it is. Yes, I know my background is still a little bit cluttered. I've made some improvements that you can't exactly see, but hopefully by next time it will be a lot better. But the main thing is this box had a bunch of cables jammed in it, and I've been slowly going through those, and I'm almost done, and getting those separated because they were all jungled up and tangled up. And once I get that moved out of the way, and then get these put away, then I can move this chair, move that basket, clear all these out, and then start putting stuff on these shelves that's supposed to go there. So, and then this will look a lot better. And then at that point, I can move that box and that tote or drawer, and at that point, this will look a lot better. And then I'll just have to tackle this side. So, not ideal. I understand that it's a bit of an eyesore, but yeah, progress has been made, and I think it's important to acknowledge small progress because sometimes people struggle with getting things clean, and having that little bit of realistic motivation, I think, can potentially be helpful. All right, let's see. But yeah, currently trying to get an older Sub-Zero 1-ton. I already mentioned that. Let's see. One day I'd like to obtain a Seabo and a bagged Bissell upright. I am selling a Lindhouse, which is a premium machine just like a Seabo. And then soon I may end up selling that, whatever model that Bissell was. I forgot the 12 amp maroon one. I may end up selling that one just because I don't really need it and I know it will sell. Thanks, Random Ad, for sending me the video of the stream. I tried to turn ads off, but I set it to the lowest setting, but I can't seem to get it to go beyond that. YouTube is kind of annoying with that. Because I like having ads on the videos, but then off on the live streams. But it's not that simple. At least if there is, I haven't found a setting for it. Leah says, hey friend, hey girl, what's up? No says, how's everyone doing in life? Recently bought a couple of books in order to help with my self-education. Hey, that's good. As far as my life, it was a little interesting the last couple weeks, or I should say a couple weeks ago. But this week it's kind of gone back to normal a little bit, which I appreciate. So I finally wasn't sick, been working more, been able to post at least a video. Trying to get myself back in the groove of posting more videos. I've got a couple of videos coming down the pike. It's just a matter of getting them out, or just a matter of having the time set aside to record them. But yeah, so I've got a few decent videos coming up. A good amount of reviews, a couple comparison videos. There's also 2 machines that I just purchased that don't exist in the United States that will be very interesting to do videos on. One of them's kind of related to a machine I have already, but that doesn't work. And then another one is also related, but it's a model that doesn't exist at all in the States of a certain brand that we won't mention until they arrive. The first one will naturally arrive first, and then the second one I just purchased today, so that will arrive likely a few days later. It might even end up being the video following it right after, but it just depends on how I do it. So I've got a couple interesting machines, and then I'm also, as a result, kind of frantically trying to sell a few more, although I just haven't sold a single machine in about 6 months, which is very frustrating. But because I understand I haven't got every single machine listed yet, but I would think that the batch that I put up would at least sell, and then I could go do the next batch of machines, the next batch of machines. But people haven't really seemed to be interested in the Panasonic or the Vibrance or the Blueprint or anything like that. So, not sure. But there will be some more machines I'll be posting that people have mentioned specifically being interested in. That includes the Constellation, the Eureka Uno, the Dirt Devil MVP, and a couple others that I still need to go through. So if there's any machines that you guys want that's on the list of machines that will be for sale, and I need to go back and update that, or I might just make another video. But yeah, so because I've added a few more machines to the list of machines that I'm selling, including the Auric. Was it an Auric? Yeah, including the Riccar Superlight, both the standard and the commercial one mainly, because I'm definitely selling the standard one, and then now decide I'm going to sell the commercial one as well. So there's a couple others as well. Let's see. Doing well. Okay, that's good. I have a job now starting back in October 23, so I'm doing good. Well, that's good. I was busy gathering all the things I'd be selling at the flea market. Okay. Let's see. Are you all starting to do better financially? I know I am, definitely. Us being sick, both of us, kind of hurt us a little bit. And then, of course, with me buying my fiance's car and everything, that also was a big financial hit. But now I'm starting to kind of build some stuff back up. It's not great. My goal, which I don't know if I'm going to hit this, but I set a financial goal for myself, which was by the end of this year, have at least $5,000 in my savings account, which I think is definitely doable. And then if I could ideally get to 10K, that'd be even better. Hopefully by the end of this year, we'll also have a house that's actually ours and not a shitty rental that's falling apart. That's the goal, at least, because some other people I know actually successfully got a good home loan and literally just got the keys to their new place, which is really encouraging because they make less than we do, but it's also in a smaller town, so, you know, the house obviously isn't going to be quite as expensive as what one here would be, because home prices here are pretty overpriced, if I had to say, considering I understand that obviously a house in Austin or in Dallas or in LA is going to be expensive, but this county, the entire county that I live in is about 18,000 people, and it's declining. Like it's a failing Rust Belt, very, very small city that is declining in population. You would think that the home prices would reflect that, but they do and they don't. It depends on where you look. It's quite strange, but yeah, because I cannot wait to get out of this house, because this house is a shithole. And the worst part about it is that I can tell that I have a feeling that, and I think this is pretty obvious, that this house is also hindering my ability to sell machines, because if every single wall in this house is torn up and nasty looking, there's no real good backdrop for me to take pictures of machines to list them online. And I feel like that's hurting me pretty bad, because there isn't like a clean, nice wall with a beautiful wood floor that you see with the machine like against, and it's perfectly shiny and perfect lighting, and you know, that goes a long way for the perception of how well a product is. And that is definitely something that my hands are kind of tied with. So obviously it wouldn't be a problem for you guys buying a machine, but then again, even that seems to be the case, because you would think that one person out of the 15 almost 1,000 people subscribed, you think one person would be like, oh yeah, I want that machine, I'll buy it. But who knows. But yeah, so I have about 45 machines I'm trying to sell. Currently got a batch of about 10 listed, I think, on my marketplace page, which I wish I could like rebrand, but we'll see. Let's see. Okay, so that was a bit of a rant, but unnecessarily. Same with me, vacuum aisle, same boat. Also, I still need to work on my clutter in my closet, which also includes those DS games. I have the complete inbox for Diamond and Soul Silver, but I need to find the cases and get my Wii and SNES games. Also, yeah, so Boppo, let me know what Wii and SNES game, or just stuff in general, you have, if you decide to sell those, because I might just be interested in buying those. you know, DS stuff. I'm not really a fan. Like, I'm not really a fan of portable systems. But if there is any Wii or SNES stuff that you want to sell, let me know because I might be interested in it. Not sure about the consoles if they're modded, but you know, we'll see. Just let me know what you have. We'll figure something out. And then obviously any of the stuff that I don't want, you can bring into the store. Let's see. The older Power Forces are generally better, the durability is hella better, the design's better, and the filtration's better. Keep in mind the filtration is still poor though, but it's better. That's true. That's why I recommend these models all the time. Because not only are these better than the newer units, they're better than the older ones too, because these are actually beefed up with better seals, better quality plastic, better metal reinforcements in the points that matter, and also the longer cords and the better quality motors. British facts. I have an authentic copy of Earthbound that I also want to sell, but I gotta find it in the closet first. Ooh, I might want that. Rick Hoover, I went to Goodwill today. There were vacuums, but they only had an H3000 floor mate that I already have, a Boring Bissell, bagless, and a turquoise runabout canister that's missing everything. Ouch. No says, I have an old Power Force, but with the dust cup rather than the dustbin. Nostalgia got me to buy it. Leah says, hey, I know exactly which vacuums you're talking about. Potentially interested in your Lindfisk LMAO. You definitely should get it, especially since you bailed on the MVP in the Constellation. It's only fair, you know. Because honestly, of those three machines, the Lindfisk is the one I probably prefer you buy the most, because I feel like that's the one that's hardest for me to sell, if that makes sense. So it benefit both of us, because you'd get a Lindfisk, I'd get money. Huh? We'll talk later about that, though. Didn't you get a DC-04 recently? Shh, don't spoil it. I will not confirm nor deny that. As of now, it is merely a rumor that I'm getting a DC-04. We will not know the answer until the package arrives. Alright. As Trevor said, it's up to you, but if you accept my apology... I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not... If you were blocked, you wouldn't be able to post in here. So I honestly don't know what you're referring to. And you don't appear to be causing any trouble in the chat. Gabe says, I'm probably going to get the Shark Apex from you, but the Facebook account will be under a completely different name because my old account got banned from Marketplace. That's fine, yeah. I think I don't know, I don't remember if I have both Apexes listed or just the 0M, but either way. And I can knock a few bucks off pretty much any of them if you want me to. If that's like a deciding factor. You posted in the Discord. Shush. DC-04. No. It's not a DC-04. No. Shh. Ignore these people. It is merely rumors. As of now, it is not confirmed. As far as everyone knows. As far as everyone knows, you do not know whether or not it's a DC-04. I mean, it is, but you don't know that. It is not a purple and green DC-04 Absolute Plus. That is not what it is. It is not a DC-04 Absolute Plus, and if it was, it has not been modded with a US motor and a US cord from a DC-04 or for a DC-07 and DC-14. So that way it works in the States. That is not true. Not true. Not true at all. It is also not true that I just bought a DC-07 Origin. That is also not true. I did not buy a DC-07 Origin. That also is not true. How much are you asking for the Lindfisk? I actually don't remember. But I mean, either way, I'd give it to you for probably a better price. I think I listed it for either 180 or 160, I think. I'm not sure what it's actually worth, because I can't find any others to go off of. So, make me an offer. Let's see. Ohio Raid. Thank you, Rick Hoover. Oh dear, a fellow Ohioan is doing a raid. How many Ohioans do we have in here? Is it a DCO5? You goober. I am quite the goober. Yeah. It's a Dyson DCO7 all floors, yeah. Technically it'd be a Dyson DCO7 half floors. Or not floors. A DCO7 carpet. Ohio memes are dead. Oh no, not Ohio. Yeah, we don't support Ohio in here. Just the general concept of Ohio, no. Except Red Sun Rising. We love Red Sun Rising. I do love me some Red Sun Rising. I have the CD somewhere around here. I thought I did. Oh, I put it up. I think I put it up there. Ohio, yeah. My dad was in Ohio for like a business thing not too long ago, and he was like, what do I? He's like, what do I do if I get like confronted by like an angry Cleveland Browns fans? And I was like, there's still Browns fans, like. It's a joke. I don't. Yeah, it's fine. But you know, I don't even know. Is Browns even football? I don't even know enough about sports to even properly joke about sports. All I know is Chiefs are killing it, and that's all I know is that the Chiefs are killing it, and since I'm from Kansas City, I'm proud of them. But yeah, let's see. There's a Mr. Powerlifter Surface Sense pet online from Walmart. That's interesting. I was unaware of this. Until Tech, remember that that singer in episode 20? Yeah. I ended up selling that one to Derek Carr after it exploded. And he ended up rebuilding it and like duct taping it together. And he used it for a while until I think it finally fell apart. But I think he still has it. I think he's just waiting to rebuild it. But I haven't talked to him in like maybe a year. Let's stop talking about Ohio. We did! We've already moved on from it. Let's see. Lol, yeah. Clip through the state lines hard enough and you'll get transported to Ohio. Oh no. Chance, if I can join the Discord server, send me an invite to my account. My Discord's pretty inactive right now. I don't really promote it anymore. But either way. Sup, Dominic? What about Pittsburgh? I've never been to Pennsylvania, but Pennsylvania seems nice. Based on my limited experience with Wawa, which I think is Wawa from Pennsylvania? I don't know. But I do quite I am quite intrigued by I am quite intrigued by Pennsylvania. But I've never been there. You know, just like the idea of visiting there. I definitely want to visit Michigan. I've got a good amount of friends from Michigan. Wawa is from Pennsylvania? Okay. Well then, if Pennsylvania is as good as Wawa is, then Pennsylvania is fucking awesome. I mean, I just gotta say it. Because I love me. The one time I went to Wawa, it was in like Jacksonville, Florida or some shit. And it was like, I was like, wow, I understand why people really like this place. Now, of course, nowadays I hear a lot about the Texas version, which is, what is it called? Buc-ee's? But it's like, I've never been there, but I've heard a lot of people say good things about Buc-ee's, but Wawa, I definitely like, and I definitely approve of. Of course, here where I live, we just have Casey's, which Some people know about Casey's, but Casey's isn't as universal of a thing as I thought it was. Casey's isn't as common. It's more common than Quick Trip, which where I used to live, Quick Trip was a thing, and I miss Quick Trip. But isn't it weird how like where everyone grows up, they just get like attached to their local gas station? Isn't that kind of strange? Like it is quite strange. The 90s Dirt Devils are hard to find, and I don't have money, especially the uprights. I want to visit North Canton, Ohio, but it's probably going to be very depressing to see. Yeah, no doubt about that. I've never been to a Buc-ee's. Every time I head down to Texas, it's always Love's. Yeah, I'll see Love's a lot. Once in a while, I'll see a Love's. Wawa headquarters is 22 minutes away from me, yeah. Hey, that's not bad. And then, of course, I've been to... I guess that begs the question, like, what gas stations have I been to? Casey's, Quick Trip, Thornton's. That's a strange one. Thornton's, there are a lot of those in Louisville. And I see those sometimes. But yeah, there's let me redo this, because I just forgot. There's Wawa, Casey's, Shell, Thornton's, Quick Trip, Circle K, Conoco. What else is there? I'm trying to remember, because there's a bunch of different ones even just in my city. Huck's. I don't know if that's like... Some of these, I don't know how small or big they actually are. A lot of these are probably small places, but if it has more than one location that I'm aware of, I include it. And their BP, of course, and its various offshoots. There's one that just opened in the city next to mine. I forgot what it was called. Was it like... Hey, babe.
What?
What's the name of that new gas station that opened in Charleston? The one that, like, is really big? Amico?
Yeah.
Amico?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so Amico. And... I think that's it. There's probably some other, like, ones that I have probably been to that I forgot about, like one-off ones. But those are all the ones that I remember off the top of my head that I know I've been to multiple times. Oh yeah, and 7-Eleven. I forgot 7-Eleven. Yeah. Ironically, that brings the list to 11 gas stations. I forgot about 7-Eleven because the only one that I've ever been to was in Independence, Missouri. Rick Hoover. Sheetz? I've heard of Sheetz. And I think the reason why I've heard of Sheetz is because one of the YouTubers that I've watched for, like, since the beginning of YouTube, I don't know if you've heard of him, is David DeFranco. And he always mentioned Sheetz. He's actually where I heard of Wawa from. Has anyone heard of QT? I mentioned that. Quick Trip. I did mention Quick Trip. I miss Quick Trip. I always really liked Quick Trip. There were Quick Trips in Missouri when I lived there, but there's none in Illinois that I'm aware of. I haven't ran into any. But yeah, there's a few places in Missouri that we kind of lost out on in Illinois. We lost out on Quick Trip. We lost out on Price Chopper. Lost out on crap. What is that? What's that other place called? Is it Meyer? I think. Oh, and Hy-Vee. Lost out on Hy-Vee. Have you heard of Golden Corral? It's a gas station. What? Golden Corral's a buffet restaurant, not a gas station. What about Shell gas station? I did mention Shell as well. Sheetz is nice, but not as good as Wawa. Yeah. Oh, so is Sheetz another, like, gas station type place? Or, like, convenience store type place? Yeah, I've never been to Sheetz, never heard of it, other than hearing about other people talk about it, but I've never seen one in person. They have good food in Golden Corral, yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of Golden Corral. So there used to be this place that was a competitor to Golden Corral. It was called Ryan's, and it was so much better. It was a night and day difference between Golden Corral, and I think it was about the same, if not cheaper. The one in Brattleston, Georgia, where I live, has a gas station plus a buffet. I don't know if I like the idea of a gas station having a buffet. That seems like a terrible idea. But it's Georgia, so I'm not really surprised. Every time I think of Georgia, I think of the time that we went down there and we stopped. We had a hotel in Macon, Georgia, or Macon, however you say that. I think it's Macon, Georgia. And right next to the hotel, there was this Chinese place that was really, really good. It was like the best Chinese buffet I've ever been to. And the seafood and the sushi and everything was fantastic, which makes sense because Georgia does have a section of it that borders the ocean. So the sushi being fresh isn't necessarily a shock, but it's just something I never really thought about. And it kind of ruined a lot of other sushi for me, because obviously in the Midwest, any sushi you get is going to be like prepackaged bullshit. It's like frozen and terrible. Like Lancaster and Harrisburg, yeah. Yeah, like, because I think those places are what, like Central PA, or are they? I don't know off the top of my head. Are those like bordering Philadelphia? I can't remember honestly. I can tell you Pennsylvania election results, but I can't tell you like the counties or anything. Yeah, it's like Wawa, but in the countryside of Pennsylvania. I'll try Wawa when I'm in Florida. If you're in northern Florida, you might actually end up at the one that we were at, because I don't think there was that many of them in Florida. I don't remember if it was Jacksonville or if it was like just bordering Jacksonville. It might have actually been further. It actually might have been further south than Jacksonville. I can't remember where it was. I'm sure if I Googled it, I could find it, but not the point. I'm playing Beaming on Steam right now and watching them at the same time with my AirPods inside my headphones. Lol. That's cool. I don't have AirPods, but I do have the Samsung Galaxy Buds. These are the Galaxy Buds Pro, and these are pretty solid, although they're still not my favorite. My favorite earbuds were the Samsung Level U Pros, which I don't know if I still have a set over here, but I know I did have a set at one point, and those are still my favorite. But of course, trying to find... Oh yeah, they're right here! Yeah. So these are still my favorite headphones of all time. These are the Samsung Level U Pros. The only reason I don't use them very much anymore is because these aren't the most durable things in the world. So the last set that I had, I actually used them so often that I wore them out and broke them. And even this one has a wear mark right here, just from the short time I wore them. But I love these because they just go around my neck, and the two buds clip together, and then I can just wear them. They don't actually take up any pocket space, and I'll usually tuck the wires underneath the neckband. Now, Samsung doesn't make earbuds like this anymore. They only make the AirPod style earbuds, where they're the individual buds. They're not like in a centerpiece like this. There are other companies that still make earbuds like this. LG makes a really good set. Blackweb used to make a really good set, but I can't find them anymore. But I still really like the Samsung ones because, of course, as I just hawk my Galaxy Buds on the floor, both for that reason and also because since they're Samsung and I have the Samsung phone, the Samsung watch, everything just kind of works together seamlessly, kind of like what a lot of people have with Apple products. So, I've got my Samsung watch. I actually have multiple Samsung watches. I have multiple Samsung phones, and just having them be Samsung means they work together very seamlessly. So these, to this day, are my favorite pair of any earbuds or headphones ever. It's the Samsung Level U Pros. These are from, I believe, 2016. So they are quite old at this point, and any used set you find, of course, the battery is going to be worn down, and of course, headphones aren't exactly the easiest thing to replace batteries in, which is unfortunate. That's a big reason why I don't like wireless earbuds, because they're generally just difficult to keep running for a long period of time, even if you take care of them. A similar story with the watches, because of course the batteries do degrade, and while it is possible to replace the batteries in these, it's not very effective, and you definitely would lose waterproofing. So, yeah. Have you been to a Texas Roadhouse? Oh, it's funny. I actually went to a Texas Roadhouse for the first time about a week ago with a couple friends, and it turns out that at the end of the meal, if you ask for a to-go box full of 20 of their rolls, they give it to you. And that made me way happier than the entire meal, because the entire meal was, I got a sirloin steak, medium rare, with a couple sides. The vegetables I got weren't that great. Um, the mashed potatoes also weren't great. Like it just had like packaged cheese in it, and the steak, while they cooked it properly, it had just the right amount of pink in it. It was very chewy. It wasn't tough, but it was chewy. It wasn't very tender. So that was really disappointing, especially because the rolls from Texas Roadhouse are so damn good that it just made everything else just feel like terrible. Just because the rolls were just so good. Even when we got our appetizer, we got the onion. I forgot what it's called, but it's like the onion ring thing where it looks like a giant like cactus, but it's all onion rings. Even though we got that, I barely even touched it. I took one bite of it and it was just a greasy mess. So I just kept eating the rolls. And then literally after we left, I asked for the to go box full of like 20 rolls, and she was like, "Yeah, I'll do that for you." And I was like, "Yes, yeah, the bloomin' onion." And literally the next, literally for the next 3 days, for breakfast and for dessert, I ate those rolls, and with that cinnamon butter, and I was happy as a clam, for sure. The rolls are just the thing about Texas Roadhouse that I gotta say though is that based on my experience, now of course every location is different. Maybe my location wasn't as good, but and for the record, this is not a beer, just in case YouTube gets on my ass about it, because I don't think you're supposed to drink alcohol on stream. This is an IBC Cherry Limeade. It is not a beer. But anyways, so I think if Texas Roadhouse did not have those rolls, I would never go back, frankly. I would never have a desire to go back, because the steak just, I mean, it's a Roadhouse, so you think the steak's going to be good. And from everyone that I've talked to has said that Texas Roadhouse is better than Outback Steakhouse, even when it comes to the steak. So if they have better steaks and their steaks aren't that great, again, it tasted great. It was perfectly seasoned. It was exactly the right amount of pink. The only issue that I had with it was just that it was too chewy. It wasn't very tender. So if they can make it more tender, then the steak would also be fantastic. But the sides, and even the appetizer outside of the rolls, were very disappointing. At least for me. That's my review of Texas Roadhouse, based on the combo that I got. Oh, I forgot. I got the combo that had both the sirloin and the chicken crispers, I think they were called. And the chicken was fantastic. So that was really good. I do think out of all the free bread that you can get from a place, Texas Roadhouse's rolls are the best. Olive Garden's breadsticks used to give them a run for their money, but I don't know what happened, but the breadsticks now are not as good as they used to be. Also, the Cheesecake Factory bread, that like brown bread with the like bits of whatever that is in it. I forgot what they call it, but like Cheesecake Factory's like brown bread, whatever they call it. That does give Roadhouse a run for their money, but I think Roadhouse still edges it out because the rolls are just a superior form factor. So yeah, I mean it's Red Lobster's Cheddar Bay biscuits are also really good, but I don't think they're quite on the same level. I feel like them having the cheese in it is kind of like their way of like elevating an otherwise not necessarily subpar, but just relatively rudimentary bread or biscuits. From all the Red Lobsters that I've had, their biscuits just aren't as good as as Cheesecake Factory's bread or as especially Texas Roadhouse's rolls. That's the thing, is that their rolls are just in a league of their own. So it's really hard to compare. But it's also worth noting that I haven't been to a Cheesecake Factory in a very, very long time. Because unfortunately there just isn't any around me. And that really disappoints me as someone who is an undoubted slut for cheesecake. So, it is what it is. There's a Cheesecake Factory here in Georgia. Well, that's good. You should try the Beats Studio 3S's. I have them and they work great. I've had mine for like 2 years. Yeah. I'm not really a fan of Beats. I think if I had to get earbuds that were from a company that wasn't Samsung, I would probably get either LG ones or Sony. I've had good experience with Sony earbuds. Because somewhere I have a pair of Sony earbuds that are connected with a wire, kind of like these, but instead of having this entire piece, it's just about this big. So, I forgot what they're called. But I do have a pair of those somewhere, but I don't know where. Oh, actually, I have the box for them right here, ironically. But yeah. So I do still have the box for those Sonys, which these are really good, but I don't know where the actual buds went. But I have the box for it still. So, or at least I did. Now I don't know where it went. Oh, it's right there. Yeah. But yeah, so not bad. That's wholemeal bread. Oh, it is. Yeah. I had a Bissell Power Force bagged all black. I forgot the model number, but it was the older 2010s model, and when I used for around 5 years because the motor burnt out or the thing's brush roll quit. Yeah. Well, the comments seem to kind of drop out. Let me refresh. Okay. How long have you owned the Big Green Power Force bag? I got this back in, I believe, 2018. I did make a video on this when I got it and unboxed it. It's a very old video. It's like one of the oldest vacuum videos I have on this channel. But yeah. So I've had this for about 2018, how long is that? 6 years? So I've had this for almost 6 years, and this thing has been a tank. I haven't had to replace anything on it except I am about to replace the brush roll, because the brush roll is kind of crappy sounding now. Let's see. Happy St. Patrick's Day. William says, hey, so I'm looking at phones and I'm comparing the Galaxy S23 FE with ideally a 24 FE if they make one versus a Pixel 8 Pro. What are your thoughts? So I don't think they make a 24 FE just yet. Usually the FEs tend to come later, kind of like the Pixel A series versus the Pixel 8 Pro. What are your thoughts? Honestly, If you're looking at an S23 FE, you could also take a look at a 7A, or the Pixel 7A. Because if you're looking at an FE, then instead of a Pixel 8 Pro, you could go with either a regular Pixel 8, which will be like a couple, maybe like 100 or 200 bucks cheaper. I think it's 200 bucks cheaper off the top of my head, but I could be wrong. So you would go with a standard Pixel 8, or you could go with a personally, I mean, I always recommend the Ultra series just because the built-in S Pens for me are very useful. But if you don't think you would get much use out of the stylus, you could also go for like an S23 Plus, because we're on the 24 series right now. And I always recommend buying phones outright instead of going through a carrier. So if you're buying unlocked, an S21 is a great value right now. An S22 is also a decent value. And they have a Plus and Ultra models as well. But because the FE is going to be about the same size as the base model 22 or 23 or whatever the case may be. So I'm not sure if you tend to buy Plus models or normal models. But either way, there's definitely some good options there. And then, but the S23 FE is also a great choice. As far as Pixels go, I wouldn't necessarily get the Pixel 8 Pro. For most people, I would say the Pixel 8 or even the Pixel 7. Because there's also the 7A. I'm only looking at the FE because I have a 20 FE, which has been wonderful. Okay, so you're upgrading from a 20 FE. Is there a particular reason why you're upgrading from a 20 FE? Is it just because you're wanting something newer, or did your 20 FE actually like break or something? Because honestly, you could still rock the 20 FE for another few years and be fine with it, in terms of just like what it can do. We might talk more in depth about it later on after the stream, but remember how to play that song. Yeah, that's not good. For a 1240. I don't have one of those. Is that a Beethoven song? No. My S20 VFE is still perfectly fine, plus I keep spending money on expensive vacuums, LMAO. Yeah, that's true. Just one thing, something newer, but not really buying immediately, just kind of testing the waters, yeah. I will look, Will, and I'll try to find you, like, the best deal on one of those. For, assuming it's still available whenever you actually go to purchase it. But I'll at least be able to find you the best, what I think the best deal is in terms of value right now, and then we'll see if that changes whenever you actually want to pull the trigger on a new device. What are your thoughts on the 2019-ish model of a Red Shark Navigator liftweight? Terrible. Sharks, indeed. Pretty much. Let's see. Probably. I'm trying to figure out where the. Spend your money on Abyssal, not a shark. Yeah. I just finished and repairing and restoring Indestructible 103. Oh, nice. I have a... I think I have like 4 of those at this point. I'm not even going to bother selling them because you can find them so frequently that it's like, who's going to buy them? I got a shark back in 2017. The only reason it still works is because it never gets used. Yeah, that's pretty much it, yeah. Lol, my shark is heavily beat up, yeah. Boppo, I am worn out, but I found everything except expect a big haul this upcoming Saturday, yeah. Definitely, let me know what you got first, because I'm curious about what you're going to bring in. Because you might have some stuff I might want to pick through first. You know, before the store gets it, of course. Alright. I still have a Shark NV80 and I beat the F out of it, yeah. Will do, I'll send some photos tomorrow evening after work. Oh, nice. I can't sing and play that at the same time. Also, my fiance is snoring in the chair, which I'm probably going to go wake him up because that might get annoying in the background. Plus, the bed's more comfortable anyways. I'll be right back. Babe, you fell asleep. Shush, why don't you go to bed? But the bed is more comfy than the chair. And I'm streaming, I don't want you to snore. Why not? Food? We're not gonna get food in here. The bedroom's closer to the kitchen. Do 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 do. Also, Power Groom Bag, list 68C77. I've been debating on getting another one of those, even though I really, really don't need one. Let's see. I've always been surprised that Big Lots basically sells the Power Force Turbo. Yeah. The only good thing about shards is that they sell fast, so you don't have to see them again and gain some money. I mean, you say that, but I've been sitting on the same ones for a while, so... Bro, not trying to be mean, just asking, but are you gay? I'm not gay. No, I'm not gay. I am a homosexual. At least in the... by the legal definition. I don't consider myself gay, because honestly, men... aren't great, but, you know, that's who I ended up with. I kept trying to tell myself that I was bi for the longest of time, and then I realized, yeah, I'm probably just gay, but who cares? Yeah. It's kind of inconvenient because, you know, half of the politicians in this, well, not half, like 47-48% of the politicians in this country want me to die, which isn't great. Kind of incentivizes me not to vote for them, but other than that, other than the fact that there's like some people that want me dead for no real good reason, it's fine. Thankfully, it's a lot better than it used to be, and I encourage everyone to be themselves, because why would you not be yourself? Everyone else is already taken. So It's okay to come out. I came out as straight in the 3rd grade. Do people really come? That's kind of why. That's precisely why I hate the idea of coming out, because I'm not like, hey everyone, I'm gay. It's just like, oh, are you gay? Like, yeah, probably, yeah. Obviously, I was joking a little bit and being a little bit facetious there, but I mean, yeah, it's not like, it's just like if someone says, oh, are you straight? Like, yeah, that's it. It really frustrates me that the concept of coming out is still a thing, because it shouldn't be a big deal. It should just be like, oh yeah, here's my boyfriend, here's my fiance, here's my husband. It shouldn't be just, oh, you have to reveal your dirty secret. It's just, no, it's just, I'm just gay. It's how it is, you know. It's not, or it's not even like, oh, I'm gay. It's just, this is the person that I've chosen to spend my life with. They just happen to be the same gender that I am, but like, who gives a shit? I don't know. I just hate the concept of coming out. I hate the fact that it's still necessary, because there are still people out there that like are gonna be like, oh, and like clutching their pearls, like, oh, how dare you, how dare you live life slightly differently than I do? Ah, how dare you? And it's like, you know, how dare you? This book that I have says that you can't. And I'm like, that book also says you can't eat seafood or wear mixed fabrics. And they're like, well, we ignore that part, but you are the bad person. And it's like, okay, I don't care. I mean, you can think that I'm a piece of shit. That I don't care. That doesn't bother me. But just don't be so annoying about it. Like, you know, I don't know. But then again, I say that, and it's like, if I'm around, like, you know, family members and stuff that I know for a fact don't support it, I am kind of hesitant to mention anything about my personal life, which is kind of sad, because frankly, it shouldn't matter. I should be able to go to, like, a certain uncle, for example, and be like, you know, and he's like, oh, how are you? I'm like, oh, yeah, it's fine. You know, Riley did this, and, you know, he got a new job and everything. Oh, we're looking at buying a house. You know, like, all the usual shit. It shouldn't be like, oh, ooh, you know. It's just like, who gives a fuck? See, and I think if I didn't have anxiety, it would be a lot easier to not give a fuck. Because, ironically, if I'm around a stranger, I don't give a fuck. You know, if someone's like, are you gay? I can be like, yeah, you got a fucking problem with it? It's like, I'm not hurting you, you're not hurting me. Let's keep it that way. Like, if you have a problem with me, that's fine. But if you're gonna start, like, bitching at me and being an annoying prick, I'm just gonna walk the other way. That's all there is to it. But for some reason with family, it's always more difficult. Because you don't want them to not like you, because they're your family. But it's like, if they're your family, the love should be unconditional. It shouldn't be the case where, well, I was taught that this was bad, and I don't have a good rational reason for it, other than this book says so. Like, it should just be like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like, you know, I would understand if family was, like, reactive if you said, oh yeah, I started doing heroin. You know what? That could be something where it's like, okay, maybe we should talk about this. This might not be the best decision. But if it's like, oh, I have a new partner, and they happen to be slightly different in terms of their genetic makeup than the last one, it's like, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? I don't know why I'm ranting about this so much, because it ultimately doesn't matter, but I guess, I don't know. I guess that question triggered me to an extent, as much as people love to joke about that sort of thing. But, yeah. So, yeah, I am queer, so. Although I'm generally, I noticed that I've had people tell me that, like, I pass, which is a really goofy thing, where it's like, oh, you don't seem gay, and it's like, well, I'm sorry, next time I'll be a little bit more effeminate and annoying, just to get the point across. It's like, who gives a shit? People are fucking weird. But, yes, to answer your question, yes, I am gay. As far as I'm aware, at least. Anyways, so yeah. Plenty of people are... Oh, a lot of pansexual people here. A couple bi people. Okay. Is there anyone... Okay, there's a couple people that are straight, too. I was going to say, is there any straight people in here? I don't know why, but it is kind of funny to me how, like, the vacuum collecting community is, like, full of queers. Like, everyone is gay. Every single one. It's like, oh, yeah, here's all my vacuums, and here's my husband. And it's like... That's just kind of funny to me. I can't necessarily, like... make fun of it in a serious way because I'm also gay and autistic. Just like every other vacuum collector, they're always gay and autistic. I don't understand why. I don't know where the overlap comes from. But it's funny, yeah. Yeah, or pan or something like that, yeah. It's... I'm not complaining. It's kind of nice. Because it's like, I literally know, like, one vacuum collector who's, like, transphobic. And it's like, bro, everyone hates you, and everyone hates you, and that no one takes you seriously because you're an asshole. But it is what it is. So, but yeah, so that's funny. Anyways, so since you're still up, sending you the Wii and SNES photos your way. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Same, didn't expect it, but I love it. Yeah, it's so true. Yeah. Hi, chats. Hello, Hypercar Kitty Cats! Exclamation question mark. I forgot to eat my bimbo. I love this company. The Bimbo. It's not Bimbo, it's Bimbo. But some of these are actually made in... not this one, but I know some of these are actually made in this town, which is kind of cool. It's literally a crescent roll full of chocolate. Like, why? It makes no sense. It has no right being that good. Anyways. Elijah says, good night, everyone. Good night, Elijah. I hope you have a great night. Well, being autistic attracts people to niche interests, and then being autistic is a higher likelihood of being queer in some form or so. That is true, yeah. I think there has been some evidence to back that up, too. Not just anecdotal, but I could be wrong about that. I cleaned a V7 and the brush roller was like bald. All the black soft bristles were gone. No wonder it didn't pick anything up off the floor. That is very common, especially with the old DC50s. If anyone needs a DC50 brush roll, I think I have one somewhere. I just have to find it. But yeah. Send photos, you're free to show chat. Oh, let's see what we got here. Ooh. Got some decent stuff. And Paper Mario. Wow, nice. I have 2 Earthbound copies. Top left is legit, bottom right copy is fake. On the Wii, left is Japanese games. Right is English games. Cables are all kind of poor, left out of photo for real estate. Wii is modded with yeah, we'll just say modded. Yeah, we don't want the police to get on you. Oh, and a Super Nintendo. Damn, I just bought a Super Nintendo from work. I totally could have avoided that. I actually don't have any of those games. I actually might just buy all those, honestly. Depending on how much you want out of those, I might just buy all of them, except the Japanese games. Because I don't have a Japanese Wii. But yeah. Is there a gay colored vac? When maybe like a Dyson Distill? Because that's like rainbow colored almost. How about... Yeah. How are you about to be transphobic slash homophobic and in the vacuum community? That's like your biggest market. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna head to bed. It's 9:22 my time zone. Good night. Hey, you have a good one. Good night to you as well. Any rainbow, yeah. Oh yeah, yes, actually, yeah, the actual brand rainbow, yeah. Also, the vacuum was just disgusting in general. Probably the most disgusting Dyson cordless I've ever cleaned. Oh, jeez. Taste the rainbow. Yeah. Also, did you hear my comment about the Dirt Double 103? Yeah, I did read that earlier. Yeah, my Dyson V6 Motorhead has no brushes anymore. Might want to replace that brush roll. Do you like the old 90s Hoover Elites? Yes, I do. I have way too many of them. I do have like half of them that I'm trying to sell, but I'll still have a good chunk of them left. Especially the Hoover Elite 2 and the Elite 350, as well as the Soft and Light, and I'm still trying to find the turquoise runabout from like the mid-90s. The one I currently have is one of the early 1988 ones that is for sale. Excuse me, that is for sale. I need to do another video on it because I haven't done a video on it in a while. But yeah, I'm debating on if I should keep streaming or if I should just cut this now. I might, what is it, 11:25. I'll probably stream for another 5 minutes maybe, and then we'll kind of wrap this up because I do want to get a video done tonight before I go to bed, so I have something to upload for tomorrow. That's at least the goal. Keep streaming. Oh, of course. Okay, fine. I'll keep streaming, but I am going to go grab another drink. So, you guys talk amongst yourselves as I grab another drink.
Where are you going then? I'm going to lay down.
I'm still streaming for a little bit longer afterwards. So I'm going to do it after the for this something. Alright, so here's a funny little thing. So, as you guys know, I had COVID a few weeks ago. I've been negative for a while. I'm obviously not sick anymore. But one little strange side effect of that is I can't taste a lot of stuff. So, for the longest of time, and that might even still be the case, I'm about to experiment to find out. I haven't been able to drink soda. I've been able to pretty much go back to like my normal diet, but soda I have not been able to drink because it just tastes terrible. It tastes like sugar water. I can't taste the actual flavors in the soda. So I've got a Pepsi Wild Cherry right here. We're gonna see if that's still the case, because I was planning on doing on a new channel, I was going to start doing soda reviews, but of course, you know, this has gotten in the way of that. So I'm going to see if I can taste this. So we've got a Wild Cherry Pepsi, and let's see if I can still, if I am able to taste this again. Okay. The second that hit my tongue, I knew something was wrong. So this doesn't taste bad or foul like a lot of the other sodas that I've tasted have been. It just doesn't taste like anything. So it's not a foul taste, it's just... It does not taste like Cherry Pepsi. Wow, yeah, that's pretty crazy. I can't taste this at all. Like, I can tell it's carbonated, but it's like I can taste the corn syrup, and I can taste like I feel like I can taste the chemicals in it. What is this? Carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup, caramel color. I feel like I can taste the caramel color and the sugar. And then, but the flavor I can't taste at all. It says natural flavor. I don't know how much I believe that. Yeah. Okay, let's see. The concept series. Alright, so let's see what I missed. I personally dislike Dyson cordless machines because cyclones just get filled with so much filth, but my V10 and V8 is better than my old Hoover cordless, and the cyclones are hard to clean. The people that gave me my Barbie Govac didn't even include the friggin' charger. I definitely want to find a Bissell Govac for sure. But likely, if they didn't give you the charger, it's probably a sign it doesn't actually work anyways. Because that battery is probably shot and they do not make replacements. Rick Hoover says the best Hoover is the concept series. That's definitely a good answer. The M-Power is the best? That's definitely an interesting perspective. I feel like, I mean, the M-Power is kind of similar to a lot of the Maytag wind tunnels, and I think it's perfectly reasonable if you said that the wind tunnels were the best Hoovers, like the Maytag non-self-propelled bagged wind tunnels. So, I mean, as much as I would understand if someone would rather an Elite or a Concept, the wind tunnels, I think, could get the nod just because direct air vacuums just in general are not appropriate for modern usage, and just don't last the test of time just because of the fact that the fans do wear out. So as a long-term sort of machine, you know, the wind tunnels definitely make a decent proposition, at least the bagged like Maytag style ones, not the later TTI ones. So I could totally understand someone saying that, because I mean, my favorite Eureka is the Whirlwind Lightspeed, and followed pretty closely, but not quite as closely as it used to be, with the Excalibur. For Hoovers, generally my favorite Hoovers do include the Elite 2 and the Wind Tunnel Supreme, specifically the Deluxe, whichever one is the one with the square base, but with the stretch hose. That's my favorite wind tunnel, because I always prefer having the stretch hose and having the standard base that isn't the wide path base. So, and then, I mean, those are pretty easily my two favorite Hoovers, is the Hoover Elite 2, because I'm not really going to put a bunch of Elites in the same category, and then the Maytag style wind tunnel. So yeah, I mean, those are my two favorite Hoovers, easily. Objectively, the wind tunnel's a better choice, but the Elite does kind of have a soft spot for me. So, but at the same time, it is kind of a strange proposition, because Hoover, ironically, my two favorite Hoovers I don't like as much as, like, my favorite Eureka, for example. Like, I would rather use a Whirlwind Lightspeed than a Maytag wind tunnel. Because to me, if I'm going to use a lightweight bagged upright with good clean performance, I'm not going to pick a wind tunnel, I'm going to pick a Power Glide. But then at the same time, for the Lightspeed, if I'm going to pick, you know, a bagless machine with a rudimentary filter setup, a long stretch hose, and a, you know, decent build quality, I'm not going to pick Eureka Whirlwind Lightspeed. I'm going to pick the Phantom Fury. So this kind of comes back to people asking me, well, what my two favorite machines are, and that's the Phantom Fury and the Bissell Power Glide Ultra. Some people are arguing about the Hoovers still. Let's see, what do you think about the Wind Tunnel T-Series? The T-Series machines aren't that bad. I don't like the ones with the folding handles because the handles feel a lot flimsier. But some of the T-Series ones, as long as they don't have the clutch mechanism, they just have the stretch belt, those are pretty decent. Because the clutches tend to break on those, and when they break in a way that's not very easy to repair. So it's definitely they definitely don't do as well as because of that era. The ones that I prefer are the Elite Rewind instead of the T-Series Rewind, just because the handle on the bin is a lot better quality, and it's just a more straightforward machine. I still have a couple of those, but of course the cords aren't as long. They're only 24 feet, whereas they should be like 30. But you know, extension cords do exist, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. But yeah. Let's see. My 1997 Phantom Thunder now has a new HEPA filter, and I've cleaned it. Even got a 2000 Phantom Thunder purple filter that matches my machine. Well, that's good. I have a lead on a new filter, but the guy hasn't responded to me yet. On a new filter, it's the same guy that sold me a bunch of Fury filters, because I really only need a couple Thunder filters. I don't need nearly as many. I've actually decided that I'm probably gonna sell one of my Thunders, which I know seems blasphemous, but it's like I use the Fury a lot more than the Thunder, and I mainly want to save that spot for when I get an actual domestic. So I will, believe it or not, at some point, possibly sell Thunder. I'm debating on just holding on to it and just parting it out, but like, I don't know. It really just depends. Realistically, I'll probably and this might sound goofy, but I'll probably just list it for more than it's actually worth, aka what people are listing them at on eBay, even though they're not really worth that much, and just letting it ride, and if no one buys it, no big deal, and then if someone does, great. But I am probably going to try to repair it first. But at the same time, if I repair it and the repair is successful, I may end up keeping it. But if someone wanted to buy it as is, even with it shutting off after anywhere from like 10 to 20 minutes of usage, it's weird because it doesn't always shut off. But of course, I think me doing that big mess test, I guess, just overheated it just enough for it to shut off. Whereas when I'm using it normally, it doesn't really shut off. But yeah, I will try to clean it out first, because with the Fury that I daily drive, it was doing the same thing where it was shutting off after a while. But once I opened it up and cleaned all the dust out of the motor, it was fine. So I might do the same thing with this Thunder at some point, but it's kind of on the back burner right now. It's likely the carbon brushes of the commutator need to be reseated. That is possible. I'll probably pull out the carbons and try to clean them up a little bit and see if that does the trick. Yeah, actually, because I do remember whenever I did pull apart my Fury, I did clean off the commutator with a seating stone and also clean the carbons, and that may very well have made the difference. The motor still arcs ever so slightly on that Fury, and it does still pump out a fair amount of heat, but it hasn't thermal shut off since then. And that's the Fury that's the one where, like, when I daily drive a Phantom, I daily drive that. That thing has been used for probably the equivalent of about 6, 7, 8 months after I repaired it. I repaired it, like, I think 2 years ago, but it's probably had about the equivalent of, like, maybe 8, 7 months, maybe 9 months on it. I can send you a link for new carbon brushes if you wanted to replace them. That's what I used on 11. Oh, yes, please do. That'd be awesome. It is easy to take a Thunder apart. Yeah, I've never stripped a Thunder down to the motor, but I have stripped a bunch of Furies down to the motor, and I assume it's very similar because it looks to be laid out exactly the same, just on a bigger scale. What do you think about Simone purchasing Eureka the Boss light vacuum? Looks like parts are rare now for those. I'm not sure who you're referring to. Night night, everyone. I'm EP and worn out. Good night, Bappo. You have a great rest of your night. I will see you soon. This is gross. How hard is it to replace a DC-14 motor? It's not too bad. The actual motor housing is incredibly tight, so trying to get it back together can be interesting. Because I need to on my animal, and I'm scared I'm gonna break it. I mean, it is possible to break it if it's gone brittle, but it's hard to say. Only time I reseated the motor was on my Fury LE, where the motor sounded like a chainsaw until I pulled out the fans, cleaned them, and it runs smooth as new again. I really need to do that on my limited edition, because my limited edition is the motor in it is definitely like, it might be too far gone with how bad it's, because it actually is like peaking on them, on that motor. So that motor might be too far gone, but if it is, I've got a, if it is, I still have my original 10 amp motor from my first 10 amp Fury that I still need to rebuild. So I might rebuild that one, and I wouldn't put it in there, but I'd take the 12 amp that's out of my 10 amp and swap them so they both have the proper motors. But yeah, the Eureka Bravo bagged, I mean, should someone buy a used one now, or parts are just scarce? I mean, you definitely could still buy one. There are some parts you can still find, but of course, I wouldn't recommend daily driving one, but buying one for a vacuum collection where you use it every once in a while. But I probably wouldn't recommend outright daily driving one, unless you are prepared for the fact that the machine could be out of service at some point, because of the fact that parts aren't available. I don't think mine's gone brittle yet. Every time the plastic is under stress, it bends and doesn't crack. Yeah, if the plastic is still flexing, that's a good sign, because the plastic is designed to flex so that way it doesn't break. Unironically, yeah. The fans are very easy to clean as long as you have the two jar bearing puller and a flathead screwdriver and hammer. Oh, fans for Bravos are everywhere? Okay, well there you go. How the hell are fans for Bravos still available but not for Elites? That seems really strange to me. Like, why is there not an aftermarket company making replacement Hoover Elite fans? Considering that they are still at least everywhere. Bravos aren't nearly as common. Because if I knew of a company that made inexpensive Elite fan replacements, I would buy a shit ton of them and just preventatively put new fans in all of my Elites. Hype for Elites compared to Bravos? Oh, so there just isn't as much demand for the fans for the Bravos. So they're out there and they're not getting scooped up super quick. I don't think you can find Bravo motors or motor bearings. Ooh. Alright, yeah, pretty much. Did the Bravos use Lamb motors? That I don't know. I've never stripped apart a Bravo. Shouldn't a regular vacuum motor use a 608 bearing? I would say most of them do. Or, if not most, at least a good chunk of them do. At least the brush rolls do. I don't know about the motors. I haven't taken apart too many actual motors because I've always changed them on as whole assemblies. What is this? That is goofy looking. They use 608 2RS bearings. Okay. Before I knew anything about brittled ice and plastic, I bought an 07 from Florida, and it showed up green, and I did not think anything of it. What's your opinion on Oreck bagged vacuums? They ain't too bad. Yeah, they're pretty decent. I greatly prefer the 21 style platform and newer. The older Oreck Classics I don't like as much because then the motors sound very obnoxious to me. But I love the XL Platinum and the XL 21. Those machines are just brilliant. They really are. The XL21 is a superior Oreck, yeah. The only real difference between the Platinum and that 21 is that, from what I can tell, is that the Platinum doesn't have that extra little side headlight on the one side that the 21 does. I'm not even sure if every 21 has that. But, like, other than that, they're, like, the exact same in terms of, like, just that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this stream because I want to get a video done before I go to bed, so I have one for tomorrow, and it's exactly 11:45, so I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up now. But it was a great conversation. I really appreciated everyone who hopped into the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream and found it entertaining, potentially. We talked about motors, we talked about gayness, and a couple other things. So hopefully it was fun, and yeah. Let's see if I can play the... Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you all have a good one. Peace.